So you want to be the next top gamer, huh? Well, do I have news for you? First off, let's check the charts. Forget all of that. Let's actually check out the top streamers.
The first thing that we notice is that YouTube and gaming often don't overlap. What I think a lot of people fail to realize is that in the world itself, if you're the best at something, you don't necessarily do content creation as well. That's why there's television shows that cover people going around finding the best of certain things. It's a very rare crossover to have somebody be the best at something and also do YouTube creation as well. For example, on this list of the 2024 Fortnite championships, we don't necessarily see anybody from Fortnite. And if we were to go to the top channels on YouTube themselves, we don't necessarily see the top gamers on YouTube. It's as though if you were to be the best in YouTube, it's almost like you could just do television in that sense. And at this point in time, I think that content creation on YouTube has veered away from there being this separation between Hollywood. All of a sudden, in this year 2024, we see that the top content creators are no longer people that are doing creation in a lot of ways in their home where they're talking to people person to person. It's set up by studios and directors, and they have funding and they have scripts. No longer is YouTube this thing where, oh yeah, this gamer is coming out of nowhere and he has nobody supporting him and he's actually pretty good. So, who in this case is actually somebody that falls into our paradigm of being the best gamers on YouTube, not necessarily the best YouTubers and not necessarily the best gamers? Let's find out. So here we have a pretty easy list if you know how to use Google, and that is famous gaming YouTubers. In this list we have PewDiePie, Fernan Flew, Vegeta777, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Mike Crack, Vanoss Gaming, Juega German, El Rubius OMG, and Total Gaming. I think that we're missing a few just up to this day and age. I know of iShowSpeed, of Kai, of Queso, just to name a few that aren't necessarily on here that I know are pretty big that do gaming things every once in a while. Just like these channels a lot of times don't necessarily do gaming all the time, but they do game occasionally. And I think that that's what marks somebody who is a successful YouTuber in this day and age is they spread out what they do. They don't necessarily focus on one thing. Even if you're a gaming channel, a lot of the times if you're trying to be a big gaming channel, you change the games that you play. You try and keep up with the trends. You try to make trends yourself. You try to not only feel the hunger that your own audience has, but you're constantly searching for ways to engage new audiences that are out there by doing things that are experimental and things that aren't necessarily what you have done in the past. And that comes along with doing things that I think aren't necessarily just gaming. So, if we look at iShowSpeed's oldest videos, what do we see? We see a lot less production value. We see somebody who is actually trying to grind away, doing this whole gaming entrepreneurship that focuses solely on the aspect of streaming games. But look at these views. They're nowhere near the amount of views that he has today, and that's because he has a sponsorship, he has deals, he has a production team, and all of the above. So how does somebody actually jump from doing something like this to going into, oh, I have money now, and we have a script, and we travel places, and we put up sets inside of our rooms that have to deal with the games that we're playing so that we can engage our audience and show that we actually have production value, and then we're not necessarily coming from just some room randomly. But where is the value on YouTube? Isn't that what YouTube is all about, is the ability for people that don't have necessarily the team itself to be able to find their own team in some ways online? So what was it that happened right here to go from 15,000 views up to a million views? I've spoken to professionals myself. I recently just went to FanX and I spoke with the managers of a few famous individuals. And what they told me was, as soon as you start having a channel that has some traction, you need to get in contact with other content creators. They said there's a lot of scams out there. So I don't necessarily know what iShowSpeed or Speed did exactly right here, where all of a sudden he's breaking these tens of thousands of views and going into a million views. But then if we just go a little bit further, you can see that as soon as he started doing that, all of a sudden he gets these deals that are obviously being promoted things. A lot of things in the entertainment industry just follow some formula. I mean, a lot of music, if you listen over the radio, basically has no value. It's just like a short story. Everyone can write a short story, but as soon as you have a team of promoters promoting your things, then they see that, oh, there's obviously money to be made if we just reach a certain promotion quota. Not every song that comes out is the greatest, but there are certainly songs coming out every day that fill the marketplace. And so if somebody sees, oh, there is potential here for us to make some money by just reaching some form of quota, then obviously you have the ability to meet somebody which sees that as well, and then they're able and willing to work with you. At least that's what I've come to hear from professionals within the industry itself. Something that I'm working on, but it's very difficult, I think, to get in contact with people and have somebody genuine who thinks, okay, this is something that is going to be mutually beneficial, because obviously it takes somebody with a little bit of heart and concern to begin with that says, yes, I will help this individual out, and then they forward your things to their management and stuff like that that can help you grow and move on from these, tens of thousands of views to all of a sudden 1.2 million views. I don't necessarily know. Maybe there are some people that go and work up and then they exponentially grow at certain times based upon reaching some threshold. But everything that I've come to know, and it's very easy to see something like this in the real world because there are so many great people doing things every single day that you wonder, why isn't this person on the face of some channel or something like that when they can do things like this? All the Red Bull athletes, just anybody. Well, first off, Speed has been doing this for like 7 years, so he has all this history here, which makes it easy for them to promote anything at any point in time. When somebody's been working on the real world jobs that most people have, they don't necessarily have this history, which a promotion team can just pick up at any point in time and just promote something or work or change it just a little bit to fill their needs and promote, and then come to some schedule in which they have all this media to pick and choose from, basically to make money as long as they pump money into it. We can take a look at a few other channels and see if a lot of them are following these same sorts of trends, right?